Put some people behind the wheel in South Florida and they want to scream, but not Timothy Thompson.
I love driving.
I love driving, but South Florida driving?
Yeah, well, I learned to drive in New York. So New York is like one of the worst places to drive.
Today, Timothy is a school bus driver.
I'm patient, yes.
Back in 2010, he was helping put down terrazzo floors.
The job that I did, very labor intensive, very labor intensive.
Timothy got a paycheck each week for $428, but one week he lost his paycheck.
I thought I dropped it. Because I could not find it anywhere.
When he couldn't find it, he went back to his boss to see if they'd write another check.
Told him that I misplaced a check, and he said, well, he kind of shrugged his shoulder. He said, well, sorry.
To get through the week, Timothy's boss did loan him some money, which he later repaid. Years then passed, and when Timothy and his wife started packing up to move to a different apartment, she found that old paycheck.
It was between some books, we had in a drawer. I couldn't believe it. I just had no words,
Timothy's bank said the 5-year-old check was too old to be cashed, that he should ask his old employer to write a new check for $428. So he called them.
And I told him why I'm calling, asking if they could reissue a new check because I found a lost check, and she started laughing. She said, no, Timothy, we can't do that.
Timothy feels they should write the check because he never got paid for the work he did.
You know that I work for your company, I work hard, and I'd be very happy if you could please reissue this check.
Well, Howard, if a check expires, legally does the person who wrote it have to write a new one?
It's a complicated answer, and it depends on whether it's a paycheck or a check for a product. For a product, the check is good for 4 to 5 years, depending on whether you have a written contract. For a paycheck, it's 2 to 5 years, depending on whether you are an hourly employee or work under a contract. Since Timothy got paid by the hour, his right to be reimbursed ended at 2 years. However, the company could reissue the check if they wanted to.
I contacted Creative Terrazzo Systems, where Timothy used to work. They told me they were not going to write Timothy another check, and their reasons make sense. I was told they're no longer with the bank the check was issued from, that they don't have their bank files from 2010, and they have no way to verify if the check was ever cashed. Leaving Timothy a little disappointed.
The law is the law. There's nothing I can do.
Sorry, Timothy. Now, technically, banks can refuse to cash a check after 6 months, but they can also cash it if they want to. So when Howard says the checks are good from 2 to 5 years, that means the person who wrote the check has to write a new one if the bank won't take the old one. It's a little detailed on the time frames that you can get reimbursed for an old check, so I put the explanations for the different kinds of checks at WSVN.com under this Help Me Howard story. Somebody deposited a problem with you, banking on us to help? Then make a call and cash in, because it pays to check with Help Me Howard. With this Help Me Howard, I'm Patrick Frazier, 7 News.